my mom, I was telling her about the episode and she was like, you're going to get kidnapped by the government. Like they're going to come after you if you keep doing this. I was explaining to her that like, if the CIA wants me to stop doing what I'm doing, I'll fold so fucking fast. Like,
really? You would?
I'm not committed to this. Like if Men in Black come and knock on my door and they're like, you got to stop this shit. I'm like, okay.
Fair enough, I guess. Yeah. Like literally all they have to do is just say, hey, stop. It's like, okay, sorry. I'm sorry. You don't even need to get me like a new truck like you did Mac Brazel or anything. I'll just no
stop.
New truck required. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that I would like, fight back and shit, but I would fold. I know I would fold. It's like, dude, when I fucking shoplifted from JCPenney's in 8th grade, I immediately was like, yes, please, like put me in jail. I'm the worst person that's ever lived. Like, I deserve everything bad to happen to me. I'm so sorry.
The FBI knocks on your door because you released this episode and you're like, yes, I'll stop. Also, I shoplifted from JCPenney
when I was 13 years old. Please don't kill me. Don't give me the chair.
You ever see stuff you can't explain?
This came from somewhere else.
Oh, freedom, we're all going against the wind.
Life elsewhere in the universe is virtually a certainty.
CIA monkey business.
That was awful strange.
Hey, Talia, welcome here to Take
Me
to
Welcome to Take Me to Your Dealer, everyone.
We did it. Yes, it's us. Hello.
Hi.
That's Tattletale Tal.
Am I?
I don't know. I just think that would be like such a bad nickname for somebody. Like,
I don't hate it.
That.
I'm tattling on all the military secrets.
That's true. Yeah, they hate it. I love it. They hate it.
Yeah. And that's just Laura, guys.
Yeah. Just Laura with a long dick. It's not. Sure. It shrunk. It shrunk from our Halloween episode. It was longer at that point, and then it's back to normal size, back to just being long.
Congrats.
Yeah, it was painful. It was a painful process, but I'm happy with it.
Had to be done.
We're talking about a real fucking spicy topic today.
Some spicy noodles.
Some spicy nudes. The sauce is just like dripping down your chin here. You have nothing to clean it up with. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a big old plate of pasta. We're doing Stargate Project.
Or Project Stargate. I don't know.
I can't figure it out. Which way
first?
Is it supposed to be? I'm mad about it.
What came first? I know. I was like,
everyone
Project
says it's
Stargate,
different.
clearly, because everything else is like Project Blue Book, Project blah, blah, blah. And then it's like Stargate Project. It's like, come on.
Why?
And then it's like not even really called that. It's called like a million other things. Like,
yeah, that was its last name.
Exactly.
Like its family name.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Girl Flame Stargate is the official name. I'm definitely naming my firstborn that. Hold me to it.
I will. This is a really, really crazy story for you guys. It's our second probe pasta. So just to kind of remind you guys, we're just going to be doing these every month where we give you guys some general spooky conspiracy or mystery. And we're going to be probing around in that sizzling plate of nudes and try to find some aliens in there, perhaps.
Yeah, we're looking for them aliens, It's like alien adjacent story. It's not, 100%. I don't think they started it with the intent of aliens being involved, but they got involved.
They found them. They're there. They were hiding.
Like, hey, don't forget about us.
Yeah. It's crazy. This is a crazy fucking story.
I know. Talia, you started off as a disbeliever.
I did. No, okay. I started off as a disbeliever with the alien portion of it. And as it goes with everything we research, I kind of start off pretty slow. And then by the end of it, I'm screaming in the street at anyone who will listen that we've known about aliens this whole time. They're right there. And am I crazy? I don't know. I don't know anymore.
You're getting there. But
no, I am a believer now. Yeah.
it's just the fact that the CIA has confirmed this. You know, they're
Yeah.
like, yes, this is fucking real.
Like a week ago.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, and this actually was totally by chance here. It's like we decided we were going to do this topic a while ago. And then, yeah, on October 27th, the CIA just released like a new statement on it, like totally
Right.
unprompted, unprovoked, basically admitting that, yes, they have been interested in parapsychology since pretty much the beginning of the CIA's creation.
Let's explain what it is first,
Yeah,
really quick,
okay,
because
we're getting
no
a
one has
little-
any idea. Basically, it's a secret U.S. Army project that has been declassified. So the information we're getting is straight from the CIA here, where the military was attempting to study various kinds of psychic phenomena in the 70s.
Yep.
And they were using it in order to spy on the Soviet Union, just to use it in war.
Yep.
They were primarily using something called remote viewing, which is
Yes.
the ability to just like see locations and objects just everywhere, this world and other worlds,
Other worlds.
without ever actually
yes.
being there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Like a psychic would just picture in their minds the place that they are supposed to be picturing, and they can tell you exactly what is there.
Right. Yeah. So oftentimes they would be given like maybe like coordinates, you know, like the latitude and longitude of like a certain area, and just say like,
Right.
hey, what's here? And then honestly, more often than not, they would describe exactly what was there. So
Precisely.
yeah, it was honestly like too fucking random. Basically, like by the end of it all, they were like, okay, like, yes, this is all real, but it's too random to really draw any kind of like serious conclusion. And we're not going to do it anymore, which is bullshit.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I think that they still are.
They definitely are. It's the black budget shit, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely doing it.
To quote the report exactly, it says, enough accurate remote viewing experiences existed to defy randomness,
Yes.
but that the phenomenon was too unreliable, inconsistent, and sporadic to be useful for intelligence purposes. I mean, yeah, they're basically saying like, holy shit, this fucking works. We don't know why,
Yeah.
and we're not able to really nail it down enough to use it practically. So we're not going to continue doing it, but something's going on here, and it's real scary.
Right. I love how they say like, oh, it defied randomness, but it was too random.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's too random for us, but it was pretty random.
Well,
It's like,
I mean,
what?
I was
What are you
looking at
saying?
some, like in some of them, they would hit targets accurately in like 5 to 10% of the chances or something, which is like crazy to think
Yeah.
about.
Yep.
To have zero information whatsoever and to even nail something 5% of the time is wild. But then, I mean, it went up to, what was it, like 90% in some of the trials with
Yeah,
certain people.
And it was often people that didn't have any prior experience. Like they were successfully trained to develop
Right.
these abilities, which is
Right.
like, what, dude? You
What?
can just teach this to fucking people? I'm going to try it.
I was going to ask you if you've tried it yet. If you're going to tell me you researched this thing this whole time and you haven't tried it, like you're lying.
I'm going to try it. I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll report back. Maybe we should do it like live or something.
Oh, that's a good
that would
idea.
be silly. Yeah. Draw this penis.
Why? There has nothing to do with any of this.
Describe Joe Biden's penis, and I just like draw like
No,
the most
don't.
accurate.
Hey,
most
Joe,
accurate drawing.
I have a weird question for you. I just need it to prove something with my friend.
I need a picture, and then I just draw it, and it's perfect. I've never seen it. It's too.
I don't
That's
like
too
this.
random.
Okay, great.
Moving
Okay.
right along. Yeah, so let's get into a little bit of like the beginning, the history, why
Right.
the hell we started doing, remote viewing exercises and trainings, and just
Right.
how it all started. Like everything, the fucking Cold War. That's like, that was just really our best time. That was
Isn't
at
that
our
where
peak.
we always start?
Yeah. We just loved like one-upping the fucking Soviets, man. We were just always like trying to like copy
It
them.
definitely was the U.S. like at peak U.S. Like,
yes, absolutely. What are they doing? What are they doing over there? It's like looking over, like trying to copy someone's homework. That's like exactly what was happening. So
Yeah, it
basically in
was.
1970, the U.S. intelligence agency, they basically got documents and information that led them to believe that the Soviet Union was spending millions annually on psychotronic research, which is basically like electronic harassment, electromagnetic torture, just basically like, psychic torture, where they were like transmitting like thoughts into people's heads and like sounds into people's heads to like drive people insane.
Yeah.
They're using like radiation and radar and like various surveillance techniques.
Yeah. And I love this so much because basically like you have to understand that this means that like within the US military and like these circles, they're going around saying like, hey, we know that they're using psychic warfare. And they were like humiliated by having to continue to talk about this. Like, it's like, okay, well, we have to study this then. It's like, it was embarrassing. Like they didn't want to do it in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I don't know, because then it's like there were like these two memos that surfaced, I guess, from like the mid 50s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That had people in the CIA like basically questioning like how they could use hypnotized people to do like the long distance communication without danger of interception, they said. So I don't know. There's always been like an interest. So I think maybe just like learning that the Soviet Union was doing this was just like, they were like, God damn it. Okay, well, I guess we have to do it now. Like,
they were like, okay, well, we have
take
to
it
fucking
seriously.
Try. Yeah. And also just the fact that it was like super fucking cheap, because it's like, okay, well, we could put all of this money into developing crazy spyware, or we could like put this guy in a room.
Yeah, let's just put this one guy in a room and fucking like basically torture him for months until he develops this fucking insane ability. And then fucking use him up for all he's got, which is,
And we'll get there. They did that.
Yeah.
Also, I heard that it's most likely that these reports that they were initially getting about the Soviet Union was just disinformation that the Soviet Union was putting out.
Oh,
and if that's the case, that's like but that's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
That they were just pretending they were using psychics and then made the US train psychics. They got us
have
good.
It be like wildly successful. So like jokes on them. It's like, okay, fucking great. Yeah, we succeeded in your trolling, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, so we learned all of this and we were just like, fuck yeah, like time to bring out the psychics and like do our own little shit here. And so they initiated a program called Scanate, basically scan by coordinate. And it's basically, the first iteration of the psychic research.
1972, right? We're talking here.
Yeah, so 1972, they began the remote viewing research with the Stanford Research Institute in California. So this was like, just basically HQ of all those freaks. And I'm not going to call them freaks. I'm sorry.
Freak HQ. No, it's cute. I like that.
Freak HQ. Okay. Yeah, I'll go there. And so the main guys during all this, the parapsychologists Russell Targ and Harold Puthoff. Puthoff.
Those are made up names.
Targ.
They're made up.
Targ.
No way.
Come on.
You think Targ is worse than Puthoff?
Yeah, I don't like Targ. Targ to me sounds like Varg, and I don't like that.
And Varg is also bad?
I will not explain any further. Just get what I'm saying. Anyway, so they lead the testing. So they start developing, all these tests, and they start recruiting people to, start learning the remote viewing and the psychic experiments and all that.
And they had decided on a 65% minimum accuracy, straight from the start, in order for them to be successful.
To be taken seriously too, you know. It's like, look, this can't be just like, oh yeah, we had like one guy out of like 100. It's like, no, this has got to be serious. 65%. That's a pretty solid percentage.
65 guys out of 100.
Ooh, 65 guys. They weren't all guys, were they?
No, they weren't actually. We can get into that later.
Yeah, and again, like the 65% was actually exceeded, so they hit that target and then some.
Oh yeah,
and then some.
They brought so through this project, I think the idea here was initially at first that they were going to try to study the psychic phenomenon. So they were like, well, let's bring in the psychics. Let's go get them.
Bring them on in.
And so they brought in Yuri Geller?
Urinal Geller, yes.
That's not his name. We're not going to do this to him.
Okay.
There's no reason to do that. It's a bad way to start.
Well, hey, man, I have mixed feelings about Yuri Geller. I don't know. I'm gonna call him Urinal because he kind
You think
of.
he's a fraud?
I mean, let's back up. Let's
Yuri Geller. So he was kind of a celebrity at the time. He was most famous for he knew how to bend spoon.
Oh, he was the big spoon daddy.
He was the
That's
spoon
right.
daddy.
Yeah, he was like the original spoon bender guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like I tried to do that as a kid. I thought I could. I don't know where I saw it. It's like I saw it on like some
The
cartoon or
Matrix.
something. Oh yeah.
They did it in The Matrix. It was so cool.
Okay, well, Yuri Geller is to blame for that. So
he was also like an illusionist, a magician, psychic, you know, all these other cool things. And his craziest stunt, I think the thing that really projected him into like stardom was when he predicted the death of Egyptian president Nasser.
yeah, during a live
a-
fucking performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess the story goes too that like people were like totally unimpressed by it. Like he was like, you guys, like this dude's about to die. And everyone was like, lame,
Shut up.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then he died like the same day.
He literally died.
He died.
Yeah, so everybody was like, excuse me,
Of, like, a
get your
heart attack.
get your ass to fucking SRI right now
Yeah,
because we need to
that's
test you. But
Yeah.
to backtrack a little bit here, just to interject a little bit of the the probe, the alien undercurrent of all this.
We found an alien in some of these
We found an
nudes?
alien. Yes, I caught an alien here because look, he claims that he got his powers when he was very young, right? As most of them do. Like
Right,
he
yeah, of
was
course.
always able to do this. So basically the story goes that he was playing alone in his backyard and there was like a lightning strike. It's like there's two different stories. So basically it's like there was a lightning strike that struck his forehead and then he got his powers, but he confirmed and a neighbor confirmed that actually what happened was that there was just like a mysterious light. It wasn't necessarily like a lightning strike, like a lightning bolt. It was just like a mysterious light. And it was like actually like a UFO that had landed in the backyard. The neighbor confirmed this. And then Yuri initially claimed that, yeah, like I met an alien and he gave me psychic abilities. And everybody was like, okay, cool. That's like kind of crazy, but all right. And then later on, like he was like, no, that's not true. But I don't know. Maybe someone got to him and told him to like shut the fuck up about it because that was real.
Sounds made up to me.
Okay, well, look, I'm looking for aliens. There's an alien.
I appreciate the
Yes.
effort. All right. So,
Yeah.
alien dude, we're back in 1974. SRI
Yes.
is like, this guy can predict death. He's wild ass. They bring him into SRI and they're basically like, we want to start testing this and figure out if any of this is legitimate. And they just start running a bunch of weird experiments on him. One of the ones they do is with like a drawing type thing where they have basically they like put a drawing in a safe and then a researcher in a separate room will go into the safe and pick a random envelope that has a random drawing in it and take it out. And then in another room over, Yuri's asked to replicate the photo and he
Right.
does it every time without fail, like 7 times in a row.
Wow.
That's crazy. Could be a crazy trick. So then they do the like dice experiment. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah. So basically the dice thing was just pretty much like a street trick. It was like him
Mhm.
like successfully predicting like which way a die would fall. Like he successfully like predicted the number that it would land on 8 times in a fucking row, dude. And again,
8
like
times though.
he was a magician.
Crazy.
He was a master illusionist. So it's like these tests are kind of like crazy because it's like,
You
okay,
get the impression that they were just a bunch of like frat bros hanging out and they were like, what else can he do, man?
yeah, exactly.
Can you guess this die?
Oh my God. He's just like pulling quarters out from like all the like the military researchers like ears.
That
It's
was
like-
not in my ear.
Oh my God. Is this your card? Whoa.
How do you know? No, but like that's exactly what they did.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they send this report through to the Pentagon and the Pentagon is like, I can't believe you guys just had beers with this dude, basically.
Yeah. You
So
just played a
they-
bunch of beer pong. Like, this is not serious. I don't think this is objective
Yeah.
enough. Let's send in fucking DARPA. Like, Let's get serious with it, all right?
And they did.
Yeah. So Ray Hyman comes in, and he'll come up later as well. So basically, he was a professor of psychology.
He's
at,
a fucking buzzkill.
He is. Yeah. He comes in. He's Mr. Suit, and just tosses over the beer pong table. He's like, "All right, we gotta fucking get real here, guys. Like, he's doing parlor tricks. Like, he's a street magician. Like, come on, let's be real." And he asked Urinal if he could bend the spoons. And
yeah, he's like, "You think you're such a big guy? Bend the spoon then."
Yeah, and he didn't. He couldn't do it.
He failed.
He couldn't do
Could not
it.
bend the spoon.
But he
Yeah.
could have been stressed. I don't know. It's kind of like what our last episode, Travis Walton, like where we talk about the polygraph and how it's like, yeah, basically just like a measurement of stress, and like pass or fail is kind of based on how stressed out you are. So it's like, maybe this is similar, where it's like he can only bend the spoons when he's super comfy. I don't know.
I don't think
to
he
give
can
him the
bend
benefit of
spoon.
the doubt. Anyway, yeah, Hyman, which is like such an unfortunate last name. He is like, yeah, he's a complete fucking fraud. This guy's a fraud.
Yeah.
So fuck this.
But he like thoroughly impressed his other frat bros in SRI. So they
Targ and
they said no.
Puthoff were like, fuck yeah. Like, this guy's the real deal. Hell yeah, we love him. He's our bro. Like, we're going to go out with him. They did lose the contract, though.
Yes. But they did run other tests on him. And like this is my favorite test, because after that happened, they ended up doing the like, you can look up Yuri Geller online, look up his like drawings that he did during this one, and they're insane. I don't know how he could have possibly tricked them into this. Like, there's basically, he would be like locked into this one room all by himself, and then in a separate room, and they kept getting crazier and crazier with it. Like, separate room on the opposite side of the building. They ended up having a researcher like on the East Coast do this with him, even like opposite side of the country.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he basically, the way this experiment would work is the researchers would pick a random word like from a dictionary and draw it in their room. And then Yuri was supposed to read their mind and draw the picture that he saw. And he did it like every time with only like 2 fails out of like all the tests he ran.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Specific.
But didn't he only fail when it was like he didn't like the people or something?
Yes.
Didn't I hear that somewhere?
Knew, it was like he knew who was drawing it, and he was like, "Oh, I don't like that guy." Basically, or like something. And those were the only 2 times he failed. But the times he nailed it were like, there is one photo that one of the guys drew, and it had 24 grapes on it, and you can Google these photos. He drew 24 grapes. There's one that like, it's also weird the way that he sees them, because it's not perfect. Like, there's one where he is drawing like a kite, and Yuri's picture is like this like weird like cross with a box. Like, he kind of got it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Or
to me.
like there's one where it's like a firecracker, and he drew a drum, because it's basic, like, this guy's not a perfect painter. So Yuri was like, I think what he's trying to picture is a drum.
Like sound coming out of it or something. It's like, oh, this is...
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
Dude, again, like, and their official statement was, it's too accurate. It's like, it just defies randomness. Like, it happened successfully too many times to be just like shot in the dark, like good guess. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know, man. It really makes you fucking question.
It makes me question. I'm not totally sold on his work necessarily, but I will say it is real weird. Like, I don't know how the fuck he could have done it otherwise.
He's a master magician, master illusionist. Apparently other magicians come out during this time and they're like, we know how he's doing this stuff. Like, and they were actually able to, I don't know specifically what tricks they were able to duplicate, but they kind of like exposed him a little bit as being sort of like a fraud. And then actually in an interview Yuri did in 2007, he was like, look, I'm not saying anymore that I have supernatural powers. I'm merely just an entertainer. Like, I'm just calling myself an entertainer. I'm not going to claim that I have supernatural powers anymore. I don't know why he said that, but
that's after they got to him with the aliens.
Yeah, they're like, look, you're too close, flying too close to those alien titties here. We need to shut you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's end.
But he's not, thankfully, he's not even our craziest psychic, because we're about to get into, who are we going to get into here? Ingo Swann?
Ingo Swann. Now this guy,
Ingo Swann.
this guy, he's a little wild. I like
He's
him.
a real
though.
deal.
So he was an artist, also like, just a known psychic. He had been doing remote viewing before. He was a Scientologist. And so basically, yeah, he was recruited by Targ and Puthoff, and they wanted to test him. But I know that he really didn't like being referred to as a test subject. He was like, no, like I helped develop these tests. Like I'm not a subject. Like I'm the all-knowing like remote viewing expert here. You know what I mean? Like it's not a test.
Okay,
it's like
okay, there,
basically
Swan.
like
We get it.
yeah,
You're important.
He's got a fragile ego, and I can understand that. But he's actually really famous for accurately describing Jupiter and said that it had rings like Saturn before the Voyager probe confirmed that. It's like when he said that initially, everybody was like, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you talking about? Jupiter's just like a big gas giant. Definitely doesn't have rings.
Yeah.
Like, come on here.
Yeah, you
And then
idiot.
Voyager probe was like, yo, we fucking probed around. That shit has rings, dog. That shit has rings. He also, look, I dug around again and found more aliens. Ingo had some encounters with aliens. So he apparently like remote viewed a secret alien moon base. He is on record saying that aliens are currently living amongst us. I guess in his autobiography, he writes about how he got weird vibes from like a scantily clad woman in a grocery store and was like, yeah, she's definitely an alien.
What?
Yeah.
No.
I was like, okay.
No.
Okay. But hey.
All right, I don't know about
why
that
not?
one.
He said
it. Well, yeah, so he's a fucking weirdo.
He is, yes.
But he is a psychic. So SRI brought him in as well. He was working with Targ and Puthoff with all of this stuff, and he kind of helped them come up with the idea that you could use remote viewing in a controlled type of setting, and kind of came up with the idea of giving one of these psychics a set of coordinates and asking them if they can get their sense of feeling and sight of that location and try to pull out what they're seeing there. And I wanted to, before we get too into, because I feel like we're going to be talking a lot about this type of phenomenon now that they were exploring with like the coordinates and stuff. So I just wanted to like really quickly mention that because this was all declassified, we have the like instruction manual basically that they would end up going on to develop years later in like Project Stargate. And the instruction manual details exactly how they would train this. So like there's 6 steps and they start off as small as like step 1 is basically telling the having the trainee explain what type of feeling they're getting from a location, like maybe colors, sound, stuff like that. And it just continues down the steps until it gets, more and more specific. Like, do you see any buildings? What sort of infrastructure are you seeing? Like, and like, bigger concepts and stuff like that.
Yeah. More detailed.
Until they can like really narrow down what we're talking about. So that's kind of how they like built it up to like get the information out eventually.
Right.
And yeah, so Ingo Swann would end up helping them develop this whole thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was a very like, basically he just kind of interjected himself into all of this. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I mean, Puthoff and Targ were very blown away by his abilities and just everything he kind of had done prior. And then, yeah, he helped develop just basically kind of like the gold standard of how to train and not only how to train remote viewers, like how to actually remote view, but yeah, how to like monitor, how to be like, the person asking the specific questions and kind of leading the remote viewer through the experience. Yeah, he was very influential, very important in this story.
Yeah. So when they were working with him, he had one of those like crazy high success rates with all this stuff that they would be doing with him. And they kind of did a similar thing with him that they did with Yuri, where scientists would like go to random locations and then contact Ingo and be like just draw a photo of where I am, like after
Right.
giving him the coordinates.
Mm-hmm. And he would fucking
he
kill
nailed
it.
it.
Yep. I mean, I
every
know
time.
exactly where you are, bitch. Here it is. Just draws like a
Can't hide.
perfect, detailed description. Yeah, that's actually pretty scary. Like you could never date him, like and cheat
No, definitely
and
not.
like be like unfaithful because he would just know where you are. Like, wait a minute, I'm seeing an
clearly
apartment that's
see
not ours.
that you're at the food court at the mall right now.
yeah.
Why are you eating Sbarros then?
Oh my god. Yeah. Told you no Sabaras. Come on now.
You only take me
Yeah.
there. Yeah, no, for sure. It's scary. He got a little in over his head, it seems too, because at one point they this is like the weirdest story where they like gave him the coordinates for this one place.
Yeah.
And he started describing a military testing location or like a military bunker, like underground bunker.
Right.
And I guess that I believe he was working with Putoff here, and he's the one that gave him the coordinates, but it was like coordinates that they didn't realize had anything to do with a military site.
Right. So I don't know if it was put off exactly, but so basically it was somebody, whoever gave the coordinates, it was like to their cabin. It was like their like personal kind of like cabin in the woods or whatever. And they were just like,
right.
Oh, see, like, he's not so good. That's actually my fucking cabin, dog. Like, that is not a military base. So they actually had another test subject given the same coordinates. And this was Pat Price, right? Who had confirmed
Pat Price,
basically what Ingo Swann had seen. It was the same thing. It was
more so.
And
like
more
he detailed them even more so because he could
more detail.
Yeah, he could describe like inside the bunker as well.
Yes. Yeah. He went in, he was like describing the cabinet locations, like what was on the cabinets, like very, very accurate detail. And again, like, yes, it was a secret military base, bunker, whatever, like underground. And again, they're like, this is my fucking cabin, dude.
Putoff is like, you clowns, you guys both got it wrong. I don't know how you guys were like, coordinating that one. But yeah, they like looked into it and realized that they were totally right. That base absolutely existed. They just didn't know about it.
They went to the cabin and then they drove like basically 5 miles ahead or whatever. And they were like, oh shit, like this is a military base. And it's just so secretive.
Yeah.
Like we don't even really know about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so this actually triggers an espionage investigation because it was so accurate and there's no fucking way they could have known about it unless they had like insider information or like they were working with somebody like, it was too weird, but they couldn't find anything. They couldn't find anything that, made them in trouble.
They did see this and get Pat Price on board now because they were like,
oh, well, talk about Pat Price a little bit. What's his story?
I mean, he's an interesting figure because he ends up doing the same sort of tests that Ingo Swann does, where they keep giving them these like coordinate tests where it's like they'll give them the random coordinates and then ask them to describe it, and they get it right like almost every time. Pat Price also ends up he becomes famous because he is able to remote view a crane. They like give him the coordinates of like a Soviet site and he describes a crane there. And it ends up being a crane that was building a secret Soviet submarine.
Whoa.
So so he definitely proves his worth pretty fast. They end up taking him out of the research program and using him for like military intelligence because he proved so valuable. I also saw that they used him as a psychic on like the Patty Hearst case.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I don't know how accurate he was there, but he was definitely pulled out there as well. They just kind of were like messing around with him and were like, how useful is this fella? All right, so my favorite part about his story is that he also was doing some digging into his pasta and he found some aliens. He said
found
that
aliens too. Shit.
He found aliens. He saw 4 underground alien bases in the Earth and had ended up reporting them to Putoff and was like, yeah, I saw this shit. Which I think is really fascinating because he was only on the program for a couple months before he died.
And how did he
just
die?
Gone. We don't know.
Just disappeared? What?
No, I think they have the body, but they don't know how he died.
Oh. Fucking gunshot, self-inflicted gunshot wound to the back of the head, probably.
I think,
classic.
I think he saw a bit too much. He was peeking in the wrong windows.
Shit. Well, R.I.P. Pat Price. Damn. Thank you for your service. Anyway, okay,
Yeah.
let's move on to Operation Grill Flame.
Yeah, why?
is-
Why?
Because they love to
whoever
grill and chill,
names this
dude.
shit-
Look, these are fucking party
They
bros.
need a new guy.
They love beer pong. They love to grill and chill. They took the grill pill. They're just trying to have a good time. All right. And that's why they named it Grill Flame. They love, isn't that like the name of like a Burger King burger? It's like, oh, the Grill Flame burger.
Yeah, it's
I
like
wouldn't
every burger.
really know, but I don't, yeah.
It's
They named it
disgusting.
after that, I'm sure. So basically, in October of 1978, the CIA shut down its work with the program, and it moved from California to the U.S. Army's Fort Meade in Maryland. And basically, they were like, okay, how do we fucking weaponize these psychic abilities here now? Like,
we got to give this shit to our soldiers.
Yeah, we need them. We need to train psychic soldiers, and we need to basically, use them to infiltrate Soviet secret missions and plans. And like, we need to fucking figure out all this stuff. So well, actually, hold on. I wanted to say this quote here real quick because I think it's a good one. So basically, this like intelligence agent said that we got to keep doing this. Like, even though the program, it was successful, but it was still like, again, like inconsistent, too random to be like taken seriously. But he was like, look, this is a one hell of a cheap radar system. And if the Russians have it and we don't, we're in serious trouble. And it's good quote.
It saved
good one.
money.
Yeah. We got to do it. We got to at least fucking try it.
Yeah, it's cheap as hell.
Kind of like one of their most successful cases with all of this was actually during the Iran hostage crisis, which was, like the late 70s. Very early 80s. It lasted like a couple of years. And so, I
think a year.
Yeah. We brought in 6 psychics who spent months training with the specific task of like locating the 52 Americans that were, lost and seized.
And they were like put through the ringer too. Like they were like locked in dark rooms and shit. And just like they spent all their time trying to see where these people were, like what was going on.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they fucking did, dude. Because one psychic, I don't think they were named. But basically this person said, okay, what I'm seeing is that they are going to release one of the hostages. I don't know his name yet, but it's found in a deck of cards. Oh, and also he has MS. He has multiple sclerosis. Intelligence agents, they were just like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, what? Name found in a deck of cards? What the hell are you talking about? But then 4 days later, fucking guess who emerges from the Iranian forces?
Ace Ventura.
No, Richard Queen. No.
Right. Okay.
It was Richard Queen.
That's still crazy, though. That's still crazy.
So he was a 28-year-old U.S. Embassy worker who, in fact, had MS.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
What?
That's insane.
Richard Queen, huh? What? Had MS, huh? Okay. That's crazy.
So that was a success, I guess.
That was a success. Yeah.
Not really, though, because like, okay, so that's like a really cool trick that they did. And like, that is crazy. But also like, it didn't do anything for the hostage crisis. Like, it didn't help at all. And so, and they they basically had the same conclusion where this is like the
like,
thing that
help.
keeps
like,
coming up
cool.
over and over again with this whole project. Is there like
a sick trick?
Yeah. How'd you do that? This isn't helpful for us, but that's crazy, dude. that you could do that.
But me and my boys are thoroughly impressed. Thoroughly.
Yeah,
all
like
that
we're not
matters.
going to hire you today, but like we think you're really chill and we'd love to go grab beers sometime.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, they also had that lady Rosemary.
Oh
with
yeah.
the
Okay.
plane.
Yeah. So this was another successful case, actually, of girl flame too. Basically, this woman, Rosemary Smith, she was working with the program. She had been trained. She was given a map, and she marked a very specific spot where she perceived that a Soviet airplane had crashed in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which I guess at the time
Yes.
was Zaire.
Mm-hmm.
Zaire.
And they'd been looking for this plane for a while too, right? At the
They
time,
had been,
like this was
yes.
like,
Yeah, no, they put her on the case because they were like, okay, we need to find this plane. Maybe one of our fucking psychics can help us out.
and she did like so specifically, like she was like,
Very
it's
specific. Mm-hmm.
here. Yeah, just crazy. So I mean that's helpful. And all in all, I mean after this whole project with Project Girl Flame, they said that 46% of testing ended up being correct for something where you're starting at zero, and almost half the time you're guessing correctly, completely out of the dark. Something's clearly
Right.
going on here.
Something is working. Something is right. You know?
So
it's
so
not
is this kind of like when they were
chance.
like, so this is kind of when they were like, let's try to do a whole training program, and that's when they developed Wrapped, right?
Wrapped. Yes. Yep. So
Wrapped.
basically, 1983, they decided to get freaky with it. And they started a new like official training program. They're like, yo, we've had so much success with this. Like, we fucking killed it in the Iran hostage crisis. Not really, but we like to think we did. We found this fucking plane. Let's train a bunch of military personnel to, be our little henchmen, basically.
And I feel like this is like when they just started getting weird. Like they just got
they
really
got
weird with
real
it.
weird. Yes, exactly. So this was Wrapped. This was the Rapid Acquisition Personnel Training. So it was basically just like, bringing in as many people as possible, training them as fast as possible, and fucking milking them for all their sweet, sweet psychic juices.
Yeah.
It took place at the Monroe Institute, which so it was a nonprofit that was dedicated to the study of altered consciousness. And again, the purpose was to train ordinary military people for, just to train them in psychic powers, just to give them psychic powers, basically. And so part of the training, like we had kind of mentioned before, they're isolated. They were listening to these guided meditation tapes called Hemisync.
Right.
I don't know if you've listened to it. You can buy them now. Like you can buy the tapes. They're extremely expensive, but I'm pretty sure like somebody, just ripped them and like put them on YouTube. Like you can listen to them. And they're pretty weird.
But also like this isn't necessarily this is totally different from how they started doing this research.
Yeah.
Now, like they're flipping it and they're like, oh, we're going to put you into this weird state of consciousness. And like, you're not supposed to do that with remote viewing and stuff like this. Like that's different.
Right.
Now we're into like hypnotism and stuff.
Again, they're trying to basically just like make it happen fast. So they're just doing like, kind of like the fucking assembly line, like meat production here, like just like fucking pump them out as fast as possible. If these fucking Hemisync tapes work, sure, why not? Like, and then like, so basically like part of the process too is like, so they would isolate them, make them listen to these tapes all day long. And then it sounds like they would like bombard them with like questions about terrorism. They'd be like, is there going to be a fucking terrorist attack, you bitch? Like, tell us. And they'd be like, oh,
please,
God, I don't know.
Yeah, obviously this didn't work well at all. And my favorite part of this was the person running it. When it was at one point it was General Albert Stubblebind. I don't know, but he was Stubblebind. He was a fucking lunatic. He thought that he was literally training himself to walk through walls.
Did he?
To walk through the fucking walls at this institute. And he said that everyone there he wanted to train to like bend spoons and shit and like all this weird shit. And it's just like, we know that part doesn't even work. We've already gone over this.
Yeah, fucking urinal like blew the lid off of that. Like he clearly couldn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
He was just He was nuts.
Yeah, another nuts guy was Ed Dames, Major Ed Dames.
Yeah, but he was nuts in a cool way.
He was a cool, crazy guy because he's the one. Okay, now we're really probing here because this is where this is the main event, people.
We've gotten to the bottom of this bowl of pasta, and we're
licking it up. We are
it up.
we're ready to go here. So yeah, basically this whole time, they really only cared about aliens secretly, especially Major Ed Dames. So he was he was in charge of this training program. He was trained by Ingo Swann, who we mentioned earlier, to be a monitor for the remote viewing sessions. So he is the one who really pushed like, hey, you guys should maybe check out Atlantis. What do you think about that? Or, hey, I'd like to know what's going on Mars. You see anything up there? Like,
I love that he said Atlantis. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, I love it too. He knew. He
is credited with saying that he saw water on Mars. And then this was like years before we found it. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
So he had some credibility there. I mean, maybe it was just a lucky guess. I mean, maybe he thought Atlantis was on Mars. I don't know. Maybe there's a connection here. He was really going for it, though. This was a crazy time to be here, to be one of these people. And it didn't go too well for like anyone involved. But this is when they started recruiting Joseph McMoneagle.
This is the guy, man. Okay, so he was an Army veteran. He's the guy. He
was known as remote viewer number one.
The number one remote viewer. What a cool. Do you think he had like one of those foam hands that said that?
Absolutely.
Remote viewer number one. He was number one.
Every time he walked in the room, he just like crushed a beer can on his skull.
Number one, remote viewer number one. Yeah, so he worked with Stargate. They're just fucking having like tailgate parties, like just remote viewing and
Project Tailgate.
Beers.
I love it.
Project Tailgate. Oh my God, Project Tailgate. So good.
So stupid.
Anyway, he worked with Project Tailgate from 1978 to 1984. He's a really legitimate dude, man. He received the Legion of Merit Award for his service, like doing all of this.
Yeah.
And that's not like a bullshit. That's like pretty serious.
No, I mean, that part to me is fucking massive. Like he provided such an essential service to producing intelligence while he was a remote viewer that he got a fucking Legion of Merit. That's insane. Like he was so valuable to them.
You're the guy. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Take this.
He was better at gathering intelligence through remote viewing than like conventional methods.
Right.
That they would otherwise be using. Crazy dude.
Another thing though that he made a lot of predictions.
Let's get into how crazy.
One prediction that he made was he believed that in the early 2000s there was going to be a temporary tattoo craze that would replace clothes.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, that's what he believed. And
to replace clothes?
Yeah, so basically he thought that people were going to get like tats like all over their body and like nobody would have to wear clothes anymore because they would be covered in like sick tats.
I definitely wore temporary tattoos, but I also wore clothes.
Needless to say, I missed that craze. I missed it. I didn't know. I believe he was right about it, but I certainly was not aware of it.
Okay. He had cooler predictions than that. Let's not do this to him.
That's my favorite one though.
I mean, can we get into his aliens thing? Because I'm really excited for his aliens thing. This is our alien dude. This is the part of the pro pasta where we have found the aliens.
He made his own pasta here. He fucking
served up a whole new dish.
His own gravy. He's a real paisan.
Gravy pasta.
He's the paisan.
Number one paisan.
So on May 22nd, 1984, at the Monroe Institute, apparently he was napping in the Institute's black box, they call it, which was apparently like a 1 foot thick, totally shielded containment room. Had a shielded door. So that was like the main kind of like place that you would do your remote viewing, in this totally like isolated chamber, basically. And I guess, Robert Monroe, the dude who, hence the name, he came over and was like, hey, here's an envelope. You're going to do a session right now. Good luck with it. Neither of them knew, apparently, that they were going to be looking at Mars or any kind of like extraterrestrial thing.
I mean, they just thought it was Earth.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be Earth. And the only like information that they were given was the coordinates 40.89 degrees north and 9.55 degrees west. So again, not like on Mars, not anything about aliens, nothing. Without knowing what was inside this envelope, which like, hey, I'll spoil it for you. Inside the envelope, it was pretty much just a card that said Mars, place of interest, 1,000,000 BC, or time of interest, 1,000,000. So place of interest, Mars, time of interest, 1,000,000 BC. Like what? Huh? Okay. So he didn't know what was inside, and he starts his remote viewing.
But he fucking nailed it.
He says that, hey, I'm seeing some people. I'm seeing obelisks.
Right.
I'm seeing pyramids. You can actually read through the transcript. Like, this is available online. Like,
it's
this is
weird. It's real trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he says that he sees these pyramids, just all this kind of crazy stuff. He went inside one of the pyramids and he said he saw a bunch of like different chambers, and he was like, yeah, this is weird. Like, I don't remember, like, I know about pyramids. I don't really recall them having like these big chambers like this. And he said that it seemed like they were used for hibernation. Like, he saw people that were inside there kind of like sleeping. And then the monitor asked Joseph to talk to the people. He was like, well, talk to them. Like, what are they saying? Like, what's going on? And he was like, yeah, I guess they're very ancient. They're dying. It's past their age, I guess, like their time being alive, being a thing. And they're waiting for a group to save them. And they need to find another place to live.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
It's really scary. He also says that the pyramid,
It's
the
so
location of
creepy.
it was located near like that face on Mars,
Yeah.
the face of Mars.
Yeah.
The pyramid was like right next to it.
He did specifically mention the face on Mars. It's like,
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think the face on Mars has been like discredited as like not a thing. Or what's that like?
No, but I mean, he wasn't necessarily, he wasn't saying it was related to the face on Mars. He was just saying that like that's around where the location was.
Yeah. Still weird. I don't know. Definitely looks like a
still
face.
weird. Still weird.
Still weird.
Yeah. So not surprisingly, it was right around the same time as all of this happening that they decided to end the project.
They're like, fuck this.
So, I mean, again, their official statement on all of this is that it was not effective enough in order to keep it going. Personally, I think that as soon as these remote viewers started remote viewing the alien civilizations that we already know about, they decided that it had to be kept secret because they didn't want anyone finding out about those civilizations and those people. But officially, they ended it, and they had like Ray Hyman come back to like discuss why it was closed, basically. And his conclusion was that there just like wasn't enough. What did he say? Like, there just wasn't enough like evidence that it was actually useful to keep it open. But he only studied like the very last couple of cases.
Yeah, he didn't really like take it that seriously or something. He was basically just kind of one of those people that's just like very dismissive right off the bat. Like, he didn't really go into it with any kind of open mind or like scientific, like, he was just like, no, this is bullshit. Like, shut the fuck up. This is not real, like, right. Basically his thing was like, yeah, it can't be like independently replicated, therefore it's not a thing. So, but apparently we had been still employing 3 full-time psychics on a $500,000 a year budget at Fort Meade, Maryland, that place that we were visiting before. So like up until the mid 90s, like there were still psychics like still fucking working and like doing God knows what, you know?
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, who knows what they were looking at? I mean, I know what they were looking at. They were looking at the alien titties.
I know.
But
they were looking at alien titties. Yeah. Describe the titties. Draw a perfect picture of them, please. for my studies.
I mean, I feel like we have officially bunked Project Stargate project. We've bunked it right into alien territory, actually.
I know. Yeah, it's just like I
we
don't even
pushed
know.
it out
like,
of a pasta dish and right into a full
I know.
meal.
It's like, is this even like a probe? Like, it's like, dude, this is serious. Like, it seems like the whole thing was about aliens. As soon as they fucking like found out all that shit, they were like, okay, this is too weird. Like, we didn't really want you guys to look there. Like, look over there, but don't look here. You know?
Yeah, I think it was a successful probe.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Crazy times. Oh, and just to mention too quickly, that guy, you know, our boy Lou Elizondo of, you know, ATIP fame. It's recently come out actually that, I mean, he has said that he has remote viewing capabilities.
Right. I mean, so again, Lou Elizondo, you guys, we covered him in our very first episode where we covered the Pentagon UFO tapes. He's the one that's kind of been leaking all of the
this is the man of the hour, I'd
stories. Say. Yes. Yeah, he's the man of the hour. And yeah, he hasn't, I feel like he won't go into a lot of detail on this stuff yet. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll have an episode update for you guys on that if he ever does. But yeah, he said he's been like trained.
Yeah. So they're definitely still doing that. They're still doing it. Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah, they're a bunch of liars.
If they had all of this success before, like, why stop? You know, it's not that it's too fucking random. Yeah. It's that like they were too public with it. Like they didn't expect it to be so successful. Exactly. So that surprised them, and they were like, okay, well, let's fucking squash this and not make it public anymore, and just again, like, yeah, keep it fucking black budget shit, like just underground. Like, no, we're not gonna bring this to light at all. So yeah, there it is, Project Tailgate.
Project Tailgate.
Thanks for listening.
And now that we have brought all of this stuff to light that we weren't supposed to bring to light, I'm just going to stress again that if we really weren't supposed to bring it to light, I'll stop.
So yeah. All right, fine. Okay. Sorry.
Sorry. My bad. Anyway, yeah.
Whoops. Didn't know I couldn't do that. Okay, guys. Yeah. Thank you for listening. We're done now. We got to be done. I'm over. We gotta
be done. Yeah. I drank too much beer. I can't keep going.
We're tired. Yeah. We had our own little project tailgate.
Crazy.
So
we've been tailgating the whole project. It's a wrap. Find us on Instagram though. TMTYD pod. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Find us on Reddit as well. TMTYD pod.
Yeah.
Laura posts on there all the time. She's constantly fighting with someone on there.
I love to argue. I love to just basically put you in your place. If you're into that kind of thing, I'll squash you. I will squash you. Just like squash in pasta. I don't know. Do you put squash in your pasta? I put
not really.
Yellow squash, zucchini squash.
I'll have zucchini pasta sometimes, like just zucchini noodles.
Oh yeah. Ew.
Yeah. Gross. Also, you can check out our Patreon. Or on Patreon. Take me to your Patreon. Or is it TM280 pod on Patreon? I don't really know.
But why don't you guess? Why don't you take a college guess? Give it the old college try. I don't know what that means.
You can find all of our videos up on there, full videos. We also have bunk snacks if you guys feel
you can see what I'm seeing in the video. It's just the top of Talia's head. If you want to see our high quality videos.
The whole time?
Not the whole time, but like now. Yeah. Just our super
I can't see myself.
Just Talia's forehead.
I haven't seen myself, but I don't even know if I'm in the video. Well, you guys will get the most beautiful video of Laura. She's looked fantastic the whole time.
Beautiful forehead.
I also like how your room has gotten progressively darker as it's gone on. It's just gotten scarier and scarier.
It's gotten a little
Look, it's not the best video, but it's a video nonetheless.
It's a video. Hey, you like to connect with human emotions. Okay. Yes, we're going to go. Goodbye. I love you all. Help.
Bye.
Help me.
Bye.
Help.
No.